really proud of the way guys fought and battled and played, and certainly good to get a win. And thought, again, a lot of guys contributed. I thought defensively, really good in so many ways, and it was a good plan. Guys knew it and executed it and came up with some big plays, and a lot of guys made plays, certainly, and it was good to see CJ Getz. He got a lot of action, and for good reason. He was good, but I thought across the board, a lot of guys, knew what to do and triggered on it. And I thought our inside backers were right. There's Coach Obvious speaking. They were sensational.
You just mentioned your inside backers. Leo came up with a pretty big play toward the end, and it seemed like he was in the backfield as soon as they snapped the ball. What has allowed him to be as successful as he's been, and what did he show you tonight?
Yeah, I think what allows him to be successful, and he's obviously talented and loves the game. And I think Bo does a great job of coaching him, and I think him and Jack play off each other too. And also what helps them be successful is the guys around them. I really do believe that. But Leo's a guy that every day that he's at practice, every day he's all in and certainly talented, and that's a good combination.
You mentioned your backers. Sanborn usually makes plays on defense, obviously, but tonight special teams, two plays.
Big ones.
Can you take us through those plays, what you saw, and explain in particular the decision to go for that fake?
Yeah, kind of. He's one. You trust him, right? You're talking about situations that are big, and he's out there, and you kind of had a thought going into the week that, as you studied them, that they might be susceptible to that, and a good job, Chryst having them ready for it, and gave you what you wanted, and it takes everyone to make that happen, and guys get excited when that's called, and that was big, and certainly the end of the game, he's clutch, and it's again a guy that'll impacts this team in so many ways, and certainly did defensively, did in special teams, and he does every day as a leader of this team.
Just with Army's tenacity, were you expecting, what were y'all telling them at halftime? You dominated the first half. Were y'all kind of expecting them to come out the way they did in the second half? It seemed they were able to kind of turn things around there in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, every time, at halftime, that's just one half, and you get to go play more, and you got to go play more, and knew that the game wasn't over by any stretch of imagination, and again, I thought we weren't good enough on third down to kind of keep some drives alive, and we had it going and kind of stalled a couple times, but in credit to them, they made some plays, and obviously, we didn't do anything offensively, and they get the points now, so it changes the feel of the game. That's again where it's such a huge play by Leo on the fumble. Huge.
Paul, was there, when you guys went up 19-7, was there any thought to go for two there to make it a 2-touchdown lead?
We thought about it, but just thought let's get the points and kind of where the clock was. We wanted to make sure we were doing that. We talked about it.
Paul, we asked you a couple weeks ago if you felt like this team had an identity. Do you think you've maybe found some with the running game the last couple of weeks, especially with the emergence of Braylon? Yeah,
it's been, that's a big part of it, right? That if we can do that, and again, I still think, there's more to be done. I certainly I feel we got a really good defense, and I think we're starting to put together some games where you can run the ball, but you're going to need, to be a little bit more consistent and throwing. I thought we had some opportunities, and there was times we made some plays, and others I thought that we didn't take advantage of what might have been there. So we got to keep going on that. But I appreciate the resilience of the group, and guys just keep playing, and we got to keep improving in certain areas certainly. But I think there's some stuff to build on that we got to continue, and if that can become kind of who we are the rest of the year, be good. We're going to get challenged so differently, each week, and you never take any of the things you do well for granted, right? I think we've been playing well defensively. You never take that for granted. I think that we've been able to do some things in the run game the last couple of games, but you got to keep going on it. And again, in the passing game, we got to just be more consistent. Like I said, there's some plays, but I think got to be more consistent.
You mentioned Getz. If I remember correctly, he started out as a defensive lineman or defensive end at some point early in his career. Did that play a role in how you guys were able to use him today? And how did that come about to figure this is the way we can use this guy in this package?
Yeah, I mean, I think our staff just kind of felt like with what we wanted to do against him that, CJ was kind of the right mix. I don't think it was because he had the history of it. It's a little bit different that way. But I had a feeling that, this is going to be kind of a game that fit him and his skill set. He's dependable, he's tough, and I think it was, he showed up and made plays. And again, it takes everyone, and that's what's been fun to see is when you do have success, it's more than just a couple guys.
Paul, once again, just talking about the all-around victory, just seeing guys contribute in different ways on both sides. Really, I mean, even special teams too. What kind of momentum does that give this team down the stretch?
Well, I mean, it's you have an opportunity to build off of it, but I think I'm hesitating because you're kind of all in it for each week, and so you're just grateful that what guys put in this week and put out there tonight for this opportunity, this game. And it was a challenge in many ways, but they fought through it and certainly did enough, and that's what you're grateful for. And I think every player has an opportunity to build off of stuff that they've done well, and every one of us has got to find things that we can keep working to get better at.
I know it takes all 11 guys, but when you say that the passing game needs to be more consistent and there were some plays you didn't take advantage of, are you referring to maybe some throws where Graham had guys open but maybe put the ball in a place that was a little lower percentage throw if you locked down a guy a little bit? Yeah,
right now, not as much. I thought, I saw on a few things, but until you really watch it, you don't want to. I just thought that there were, bottom line is, we're going to have to win the games, and to move the ball efficiently, you're going to have to, you're going to have to throw it and you're going to have to run it. And you know what I think we've got to be better at that.
Paul, we saw Jake Ferguson get a little more active in the passing game this week. Was that something that matchup-wise you liked what he could do against some of the linebackers they had, or is that just him being one of your reliable guys and he made some plays?
Yeah, I think it's both. I've really appreciated the way Fergus kind of approached this whole year and the way he's been playing, and certainly we felt like there was a couple things that we could, I don't want to say take advantage of, but there is a favorable matchup, and I thought he played with really good speed, and I've liked the way he's doing. I thought there was a couple other opportunities we could have gone to him, and that's, I kind of want to make sure I'm seeing that right, but it was he's been playing well.
The running backs have talked about being then whoever's got the hot hand is usually going to be the guy. It seemed like Braylon was kind of rolling in the first half. Yeah, I think he had 10 carries, and then he didn't get the ball in the third quarter at all. Would you have liked to have gotten him more involved?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is that, if we put drives together, that changes everything, and I don't know what we were. I didn't feel like we were real good on third down in the third quarter. So now all of a sudden you're talking about, fewer plays in the possessions. And so I think it's been really good what Ches and Braylon have given us, and Ship's given us some stuff. But, I think to get those opportunities, we got to be more consistent. We weren't good enough on third down.
Well, on punt returns, do you guys have a hard and fast rule for your returners? Put your heels at the 10, and if it's over your head, don't catch it, or do you leave it up to their judgment?
You know, it's you do have, you know, here's where we're at, and you know, I think it has changed some, you know, over the years because you know, it's the kickers are getting better at it, and you know, we had a couple. I think the one, you know, we were moving back quite a bit, you know, and you got to get a feel, and so it's I hesitate because I don't know, it's hard and fast. You know, is it the 8? Is it the 9? If you have to go back, you want to set yourself there, and if you got to go back too much, you got to gauge it, and it's not to say that every ball is gonna kick back. You know, so that's one that I think we'd like to have over.